The fear inside is rising. Watch as you turn from me. My thoughts are torn and empty. What's left to know?
All right, great. We're recording. Okay, so hi, welcome, Houses in the Sky. Thank you very much for joining me on the Dingir Zu podcast. I guess we're a podcast because we're not going to play any music. Although I'm sure I'm gonna loop in some of your sound in the background in post production. See, I'm terrible. I'm already talking about the logistics of this interview instead of just doing the interview. That's okay. It's not great, but yeah. So thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to interview you all ahead of the release of your album. So it's been really great getting to know your music, and I love the engagement that you all have with it. So yeah, why don't we go around so we can introduce each of you to all of our listeners. So Sierra, why don't we start with you?
Okay. I'm Sierra Engelhart, and I am the singer for our band. Okay, go.
Keep going, guys.
I'm Nikki. I'm the guitar player for Houses.
And I'm Blake. I play bass.
And I'm Justin. I play drums.
Nice. Well, welcome all of Sierra, Nikki, Blake, and Justin. So why don't you tell me how you guys got together? And were you lifelong friends? Did you meet at school? Tell me the background and history of House.
I guess about 4 years ago, we were going to the community college in Harrisburg called Hack, and we were all going there for music business that they have there. And Nikki and I first met through a songwriting project, and then there was a room at the school that was the music room, and we all just kind of met each other there and started jamming out together, and then liked what we were playing and made more songs together, and I guess the band formed.
Nice. And so were you each classically trained? Like Sierra, were you grew up in a choral environment, and were each of you classically trained in your instruments?
I always did just choir and from elementary through high school. But I've always just loved singing. My family, I would talk more, or I would sing more than I would talk, and they just knew I don't know, but sometimes my family would say, "Sing in your head, Sierra," and I was like, "I don't know how to," because I just got annoying with it. But I didn't think that I was gonna continue school with doing music stuff, but going to Hack, just the music program that they had there, I really enjoyed the business side of it. And then I go to Millersville University now, so I actually do voice lessons and more things with singing there.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And the name, Houses in the Sky, is that a play off of Up, or what's the etiology of the name?
So originally we were named Love Child, but determined that I think somebody else had the name and we just didn't really like it all that much. And there was this one day that I have really vivid dreams. I'm one of those people. And I had this dream one night where it was there was Justin, Nikki, and Sierra were there, and just a bunch of random people. And there was we were trying to get inside of this shut down amusement park, and there was this homeless man out front, and he was like, "I can get you in." And so we were like, "Okay, this seems weird, but sure, sounds good." And so he's like, "Yeah, just come around to this side." And he puts on a Santa Claus suit, and he turns us into these houses, and like we become the propulsion devices for his sleigh, and we're like pulling it through the sky. And yeah, anyways, it got weird. I was inside of myself as a house, and then took out my tongue in the mirror and stuff and shit. It was really weird. But I think then Sierra was like, "Oh yeah, house is in the sky."
Yeah, it just flowed together nicely.
Nice. Well, dream inspired. Yeah, I mean that's Love Child, not a terrible name for a band though. So anyways, but Houses in the Sky, no one's gonna forget that, right? It's very original. So let's say that, you're meeting someone for the first time and they ask what you do and you tell them, hey, I'm in a band. Describe your genre, your sound to them. Because honestly, the reason I ask this question is because I have a tough time putting my finger on y'all. Like, I mean, there's some bands, they're clearly noisy, they're clearly psych, or they cross over bluesy, and so they're easy adjectives. But for you all, it's a little bit more challenging for me. So I would be curious as to how you would answer this question.
Do you want to answer that?
I think I can speak for all of us, so we all have a hard time answering that. I think we all come from such different like musical backgrounds. Like Sierra she used to listen to like a lot of indie, a lot of
Like
give me an
dance.
example.
It's just like a lot of dancing type of songs and electronic music.
And Justin and Blake both like a lot of like proggy stuff, like Rush or what's the band name you guys both like? Coheed, thank you.
Cambria.
Coheed and Cambria. I'm a grunge guy. I love Alice in Chains, and like Lane Staley was always a hero. I like anything from that time period.
Yeah, run into the same dilemma with our like playlisting stuff, because it's like, what's the genre of this? And it's like, and then I feel like, the typical band thing where it's like, oh, we don't know the genre, we don't fit into a genre. But then sometimes I'm sitting there and I have the list of genres and I'm like, yeah, I guess it fits into like indie rock, sure, maybe. And then usually we just go with like alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah, alternative rock.
Well, I mean, that's a pretty broad brush. So, I mean, and then you don't have to stop trying to put labels on us. That's what I would say. Awesome. So, who really takes the lead on the songwriting in the group? Like how does that songwriting process take place? Do you start with a chorus, a riff, a note, and then you expand upon that and add lyrics? Or are you lyrics driven and you want to find the music that fits the mood of what the songwriting is intended to be? Can you just or do you not have a process and it's just an amalgamation of a bunch of different methods that you employ?
So mainly most of our songs come from like starting like with like a guitar riff. We call Nikki the riff machine because he's just always strumming, jamming something, and then like we'll be like, that's a song right there. So then like we'll kind of me, Nikki, and Blake will kind of like work with it, and then like as we're like, okay, we got a part for this riff. Is this a verse? Is this a chorus? Is this a bridge? And then we'll kind of build parts around that, and then usually like once the music starts coming, then Sierra will.
I'm like sitting there with my notebook, just like
Yeah, we'll be sitting there jamming, and
humming
she's over there like. We have one song that was different from that process, which was our most recent single, "The Sun Has Vanished." So I just gave Sierra a writing prompt where I was just like, hey, here's this song title, write lyrics to it, like before there was music for it.
Yeah.
So then she had those, and then we were just kind of messing with ideas, and we are like, yeah, let's use that for this song.
Yeah, that was definitely an interesting way to do it for myself, like not having the actual music yet really to kind of write the melody and the lyrics to. So it was a lot of just like the poetry and like the lyrics there and trying to fit it to so it's a different way than what I'm used to. So that was interesting. Yeah.
So The Sun Has Vanished. It's a great track. So Justin, what was your motivation? Did you have a dream about the sun vanishing and you wanted to
How did you
are you trying to communicate something and the sun has vanished?
I just like Dark Souls. I was playing Dark Souls.
Are you
a lot.
serious?
Yeah.
I'm. This is new info.
I didn't know that either.
Breaking news.
Interesting. That's all.
That's so funny.
So is there a common theme? So the album that's coming out, it's coming out on the 11th. Nobody Knows. Is there a common theme throughout the album? Are you and is this your first full length
Yes.
It is.
effort? You must be super proud.
Yeah.
It's exciting. I'm excited for it to be out in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A common theme. I think what we always talk about, kind of what our theme is with like, and just I think our music and our band in general is some type of like struggle or like eternal struggle or something that we find a way to kind of tap into that and realize like everyone kind of goes through these struggles. So I think it's kind of how we connect with just like the human nature of us, and not to really be scared of whatever these certain struggles might be, but to kind of embrace them, and we make music through that.
Yeah, there's definitely a number of songs on this album where I hear like it's very like some of the lyrics get very just existential. Just like, oh, what is this? What is existing? What is being human?
I always said that sadness and pain and drugs are great sources for great music. And it's just true. Like when you experience something, I don't know about y'all, but music that really gets into me is music that's been inspired by experience, and where you feel what that artist is trying to communicate. You may not exactly know what the experience was, but you know that they are feeling something. And I don't waste my time. And look, I'm not, well, I guess I am a music snob, but I want music that makes me emote, and you can feel the artist emoting. So I mean, and that's one of the biggest questions of what are we all doing here, and what's it all mean? And thankfully, Dingir Zu provides a forum for all those lost children to come and, yeah, anyways, we won't get into weird cult stuff. Well, we haven't started any weird cult stuff yet, but, we're open to ideas. So, yeah, okay, so the album's coming out. How do you plan to launch it? Are you going to have any hard media? I'm always interested in how, the band's plan, like, okay, we've got this, we've, worked on this effort for a long time. We're super proud of it. Now, here's how we're going to get it out there and distribute it and get it as many ears to listen to this as possible. So, I mean, that must be really challenging in today's day and age. So I'd be interested in how, what your plan is for your album, how you plan to launch it and how you plan to promote off it.
Trying to think, because we're more of like DIY, like do it yourself, and like, like I'm a college student. I know they were going to college too. So trying to like do a lot of what I've learned from school and like the business side, working with social media a lot, because that's just, what's popular. Everyone's on social media. trying to do different things. And when we released our EP about like 3 or 2 years ago. I don't think we did a lot of like great promotion for that, but we wanted to do it differently this time and definitely just do a lot with social media. I'm working on like making a press release. Like we have to do a lot of stuff just ourselves, and luckily we have connections with like talented friends and people. We got done working on like a music video that we were making. New merch, just like a lot of, I don't know, like what record labels do, but we have to do it ourselves. So it's a process, and it's kind of hard and like confusing. We have to like figure it out on the way, like while we're doing it, and see like how it goes, and then learn for the future, for whatever else we put out.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's anything you want to say.
We're also planning like an album release show with our a fellow Lancaster band, 25th Hour. They're also releasing an album. I don't know if they've announced their date yet, so I won't say it, but they're coming out around the same frame point. So we're hosting like a double release show with them. That show will be on November 10th. So kind of like, all right, this is what you'll get in the album at midnight when you go home.
Right on. Yeah, right on. And where's that show going to be?
That show's at Phantom Power in Millersville.
So you mentioned social media. Dingir Zu as a concept exists only in a social media forum. Like we get together as friends and we go to shows. We're headquartered in the Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. So we get a lot of bands that come through here NC State, UNC, Duke, they're all here. So we get a lot of we get a lot of good talent that comes through here. But otherwise, we depend almost exclusively on social media as, our platform, which is a struggle for me because I loathe social media. I force these people to join my Facebook group, which I really loathe. But at the same time, how else are you going to start a fake religion if you don't do it on social media? And for bands, I know that they have some of the same struggle because I talk to these artists. As you all know, I love engaging with the bands that follow us, but they all, you have to be on there in order to, you cannot just depend on word of mouth anymore because you're just not going to get the pickup that you need. So do you struggle with that same quandary where this sick animal that has infected us all is, we're feeding it because we need it, right?
Yeah, I think about that all the time, and like, because I'm usually like Justin and I do a lot of things for like our social media pages, but like I think literally last night I was thinking how I need to take a break from being on like Facebook and like my phone and social media all the time because it's so addicting. But it's like, but I kind of need to be on there to do stuff with the band stuff, and I just get in this loop of like this addicting thing being on my phone. Sometimes I'm able to take a break from my phone and only use it for like business purposes. So whenever I have like self-control like that, it's really nice, but like sometimes it can like kind of drive me crazy, like, and just like a lot of anxiety, and making sure like, are we posting enough? How do we get more engagement? Sometimes I just have to like not care basically, or just kind of like let it go, like whatever is happening, just let it all flow. And sometimes I'm really like, I need to have a game plan for everything. I don't know, I'm trying to find structure with it.
Yeah, and it's especially hard for DIY bands, right? Because you are literally doing it all. You don't have a label or, a rep who's putting stuff out there for you. So you can be completely oblivious to what your channels are. So you have to kind of stay engaged. But Yeah, I struggle with that myself. But so yeah. Oh well. I mean, look, it's the medium du jour. So what are you gonna do? You're just gonna we all gotta live with it.
That's
It
what I tell
sucks.
myself.
So
Yeah.
Facebook sucks except for the Dingir Zu Facebook page. Um yeah, okay, so we're gonna start bringing the podcast to some really salient points. I know I asked you ahead of time, so I don't want to catch people flat-footed because I really want them to have the opportunity to think. So tonight, after we conclude the interview, aliens come to abduct you, but they're pretty chill aliens, and they're like, "Look, we're going to give you an opportunity to bring one album, each of you. It's the only album you're ever going to be able to listen to for the rest of your time. Look, we're not going to probe you or anything. We're going to let you listen to music. So, which album are you bringing?" So, yeah, let's just go around the horn. Who wants to answer? What is the one and only album that you bring with you onto the alien ship?
What I can think of, it would probably be Lana Del Rey, Norman fucking Rockwell.
Nice choice.
It probably like 2112 Rush. Oh, yeah. I could listen to that. I could listen to that just on repeat, for as long as I need to.
This question is gonna hurt my soul. I'm really
Yeah.
I know it's a mean honestly, it's a mean spirited question because I mean I think about my answer to this and it changes all the time. But I will submit an answer just so that I can feel your pain. But go ahead.
Well, I have a Johnny Cash poster on the wall that I'm looking at. I'll take his live album from Folsom just because I feel like if I have to listen to it ever, I want something organic, not like electrified, but just there's some sad stuff on there. There's some not quite sad. You can listen to it within any emotion. You know what I mean? You don't have to listen to it at a certain time. I have to be sad or I have to be happy. No, you can just always come back to it.
And it's gonna take you there too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So nice.
I'm bringing Hybrid Theory by Linkin Park with me.
That was a close second for me. That was literally the second one on my mind.
I didn't
All
hear that,
hits,
Justin.
no
What was it?
misses. I'll sing along to every song for the rest of time.
Nice. Well, if they stop by here in Cary, North Carolina, and pick me up, because that'd be pretty cool if the five of us we could be like I'll be your band manager, or I'll be your PR. I'll do all your social media. But if the aliens
There
come
we
here
go.
and pick me up, I'm gonna take Mother's Cake Cyberfunk. I've been listening to that album so much, and man, oh my God, they just, and I'm a prog psych, heavy prog psych guy. So psychedelic porn crumpets, they're probably like number one in my book. But I got to tell you that Mother's Cake, they're just, they're exquisite to me. Anyways, so yeah, great answers all around. Congrats. And look, you guys can listen to each other's albums. I guess since you're going to be on that ship so you get a little bit of diversity. It's not just your album. Okay. Yeah. So final and most important question. How has joining Dingir Zu changed your life?
I enjoy it because I really like community type of things, and so it's nice to have that community. And Nikki and I try to listen to your radio show on Wednesdays, and it's really fun because I haven't listened to radio in so long, since middle school or something, and so it's just like it's fun to kind of be part of that, and like we listen to you talk and like everything, and I don't know, I just like the community stuff a lot.
I know I'm terrible. I feel so bad
No,
for you guys.
it's so
Everyone,
funny.
like there's this
We
guy.
love just
There's
like
this guy I work with who has this beautiful radio. He's got just a gorgeous voice, and so I tried to talk him into doing the radio show. I said, "Look, I'll do all the notes, all the background, everything." But yeah, okay. So you guys are stuck with me, but I do. Yeah, I hear you. I like that. I did a couple of podcasts about the group, and like the podcasters wanted to talk about me and this crazy thing that I was doing, and I was like, no, I want to talk about the bands. Like I am the least important part of this group. My intention is to get out the word on all these great bands that I'm coming across. So yeah, that's as much as I loathe my sound of my own voice, I do it because like I don't just want to play a song. I want to talk about what the band is doing, like and what they're about, and give them a proper forum. So, for better or for worse, that's what it is. Sorry.
Well, I think you're doing great, Jesse. And for the record, I think your voice sounds lovely.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, like
I
I'm a
was
huge.
in my. What's that?
Sorry, I was just I'm a huge podcaster fan. I listen to podcasts all day. So like whenever your show comes on Wednesdays, like we genuinely like actually look forward to it. And like I said, I listen to a ton of crap online, and like this is like good. It has like a community to it. Like it feels personal, and the best podcasts are always so personable, and like that's I don't know, at least the ones I tend to like.
Yo, thanks, man. I really, sincerely, I appreciate that. I've been trying to get the co-founder to do more of the shows with me because I really like having someone else in the room. But she's, I mean, she's great, but she's like super busy, and so I can't always get her to do it with me. But I really do enjoy. I love doing it because it's a passion of mine, and I love providing bands an opportunity to just expand upon, because that's what radio used to be, right? I mean, that's how you got to know a band, and then you get interested, you dig into them, and we've gotten, our audience is growing week after week, which is really nice to see. Not so much I don't get paid for any of this. And I spend way too much money on vinyl for my wife to allow me to expand on any of the Dingir Zu. When she saw me putting this up behind me, she was like, "Oh my God, how much did that cost?" But I don't care.
We're musicians.
Whatever.
We understand.
Yeah. Constantly spending money on stuff that's not going to make us any.
Well, that's kind of the thing, and that's the other thing that I communicate, why, people should be supporting live music and, going out, buying the merch of the bands, because they're, for the most part, most bands are playing to play for their audience, right? I mean, even when you go to a show, a great show, well-attended show, I mean, you're not taking a whole lot of money back and putting that into your pocket. And what money you do take back from your merch sales and stuff like that, it's going right back into recording and, new equipment, maintaining the band. So, yeah, it's a real, that's why my hat's off to you all for, I love your art. I love your music, and the fact that you're investing yourselves in it. I sincerely appreciate it. So, yeah. So, okay. So again, I will cut that question out for the one, so you guys don't have to be in a weird position where you're defending why you joined a cult. But so you have a clean version of that. Yeah, so I just want to thank Houses in the Sky. It's been a real pleasure getting to know you and getting to know your music. So thank you so much. My very best to you in your album launch, and whenever I get a chance to get up there, I don't know if I mentioned to you, my dad lives in Ringo's. So I'll be up there to see him soon. So maybe I'll keep track of when your next show is, and I'll coordinate that so I can come out and catch you guys, meet you guys live. And if you ever come to the Triangle, please do not hesitate to let me know, because I'll bring out the gang.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah. So Houses in the Sky, thank you so much. Have a great night.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. We appreciate it.
Thank you for having us.
All hail Dingir Zu.
All
hail Dingir Zu.